Hello, it's been a while. Today we are going to talk about morality and superficiality. When we look at morality, we see them as a set of governing principles or rules that are seen in a particular society which govern its people, and they tell them to do this and do not follow this, do these sort of things. And then a person who is following these moral code is looked upon as some kind of an ideal person. But to see whether these sets of morals are really in tune with the current time, with the current reality, we have to go deeper into seeing how these morals were formed and to understand that these principles of the morals forming in themselves, are they really conducive to a human being in the current world, in the modern world scenario? So when we look at morals and we try to see that whether these morals, how they have been formed, we see that it is usually a geography, a portion, a part of maybe being a part of a nation, being a part of a particular culture, coming through maybe a religion. These things, the common things that bind people, and historically it has majorly been about geography, that people tend to develop ideas. People tend through living see that what is workable and how people can live along with each other and at the same time not clash. And that's how morality or morals have been formed. An ideal state of conduct is what morality can be specified as. But when you look deeply, and because we highlighted it in the very definition, where we saw that people coming from different backgrounds, people coming from different regions, from different religions, from different cultures, have different set of morals that they practice. And this is determined by what they consider as ethical, what they see, or what they see their fundamental blocks as to how they look at themselves as people. So this tells us very clearly that moral code is not something which is a, a fine construct. It is something which has been manipulated over time, it has been constructed over time. Things have been put in when people thought that okay, this is becoming too heavy of a burden, or certain things have been added which are not really serving the humanity at large. They have been removed too. So when we see now, understanding this, that it is not a code of conduct which is something which one can equate to putting their full faith in. It is something which can be sought after as a way of living a fairly decent existence. But if a person has to go deep into understanding themselves, trying to find the very constructs of not the society but their own individuality, you have to question everything. And by questioning, by the employing of your intelligence to see that is this really something which is working, is it making human beings who are sensitive, is this going towards a process where people are able to fulfill their potential by following these moral codes. Then, and if it is working for you, then it is great to have those moral codes and follow them. And it is seen that for a large population, maybe 90 to 95% of the people would do really well with the moral codes in place. Now, it also depends upon the society that you belong to and how developed or how in tune are these moral codes with the current state of the society. Because existence is in flux, because life is in flux, even when we talk about very practical things, there is immigration, there is emigration, there is a lot of change in this world, there is climate that is changing, there is political climate that is changing, there are so many things in flux. So you understand that the moral code which is healthy is one that is not written on so firmly. It is something which is changing with the times, with the people that inhabit this very society. What was great or beneficial for your parents need not be great or beneficial to the same extent to you, because times have changed, the human psyche has changed, and an intelligent society is one which changes with time. The ones who are too sure about what is right and what is wrong are the ones who are most confused. When you are too sure about a certain thing, you should first ask yourself, where is this surety coming from? Because many a times it is just the manifestation of your fear of asking the right questions, looking into things deeply, is what is causing your rigidity. Real strength lies in one's ability to be able to shift, to be able to move, to be able to bend down, and to be able to let things grasp you once in a while, and not show that rigidity of wanting to manipulate or grab hold of anything that is weak or anything that is not so sure about itself. When you show that sensitivity, when you show that inclusivity of trying to know the other's perception, trying to see where they are coming from, and then taking an informed decision, then it says a lot about your wisdom, your intelligence. And when you see that this kind of a dialogue, the possibility of having such interactions, the possibility of really learning from each other is no more available, and you see that people on either side of the aisle are just functioning in a predetermined way, you see that things have become too superficial. You are not able to grow, and neither is the person on either extremes of the argument. The space for growth lies in the middle path. The middle path of Buddha is acclaimed for being something which makes you employ your intelligence continuously. When you are too sure about where you want to go, or about your knowledge, or about your ideology, you follow a path which is preordained. You are no longer questioning as to where are you coming from and where you are headed. This lack of inquiry, it will make you stumble in not a long time from now. You will see that you find yourself, although currently in a horde of sheep who are following this path without questioning, but it won't be too long before you see yourself as completely lost. Because when there is a cliff and there is a very confident sheep that is heading the pack, the shepherd is not really you yourself, but you have made the pack as your shepherd. It will just result in your own annihilation, because when one sheep jumps into the cliff, others follow too, because they have basically let go of their own viveka, of their own discretion. And this belongs to people on either side of the aisle, people who have taken up leftist or rightist to the extreme core in their life. And leftist and rightist is also an example. It could apply to any dimension of your life where you have stopped employing your intelligence, where you have stopped thinking. And this will just mulch you into superficiality. It will never let your inquiry deepen in order to dig the well of sustenance for yourself. And that's how morals also should be born. Real morality is not the superficial kind of moral policing of or the ones which believes in cancel culture of coming from the other side. Real morality believes in the capability of a human being to be able to question and understand for themselves as a unique individual, and then take the correct stand, the intelligent one. I hope you are able to go out of this mess of superficiality and dig deep into your own intelligence and give birth to this awareness. Thanks.